Hey, I'm Joe DiGiulio with another quick lesson. Today's quick lesson is going to be on composition. Now, I'm an abstract expressionist painter, and what I want to show you today is how I deal with composition in my abstract paintings. A lot of my paintings, there's about 12 different kinds of compositional setups, but mostly what I use is a golden section setup. What I mean by that is, imagine the canvas as a tic-tac-toe place, all right? Divided into thirds. I've taken this section, dividing it into thirds. Now, where these lines would intersect at, in the tic-tac-toe field, that is where I want to make my focal point, where my eye wants to be drawn. Now, where I am from there, as I move away from there, I'm going to actually mute the colors by adding a white or a complementary color to it, or maybe even a black, to shade it or tint it, but to mute that color. Now, what that'll do on the edges is going to create some resting spots for your eye. You see in this composition right here, I have it divided up into a section where this teal actually draws your eye in. My eye, I want to direct the eye here or one of these places. It's just I have little different items, a color that might be bright compared to everything around it to catch your eye. These are the places I like to call them my second surprises or my echoes. This is the area that I want to draw interest in. A lot of the language that I use in my work also has to do with little secret symbols that I put in my work. For example, here, you'll notice the 3 dots. The 3 dots in any of my works that many people have seen in the area always have to do with my little secret hello to my family. The 3 dots represent me, my wife, and my son. So it's sort of like in years ago, the Carol Burnett show, when she was on TV. When she would end the show, she'd do this. That was her way of saying hello to her mom. Well, this is sort of my way of saying hello to my family when they view my paintings. We divided it up. We have our little secret language. We work with a division of color. We lap one color over another. The techniques I use are a sgraffito, where I actually scratch away from the paint, but another one is where I actually flick a controlled splash of color. You'll see this layer upon layer in many of my works. I'm absolutely going to do the exact same thing as I continue on with some sgraffito and also with the splattered look. So I'm going to show you a demonstration of how this splattered paint is controlled. What I'm going to do is come over here to this painting I have here, and I still have some of it wet, but I'm also going to use that for where I can etch in to do a sgraffito, but I'm also going to do a controlled splattered effect. I want to use a color, in this case, it's going to be a cobalt teal. It's going to be one of the new colors that's going to be offered by Matisse in the coming fall. This is part of their new 29 color additional line. In this case, to control my splatter, I use a fan, and I'm using the Polar Flow number 4 fan in this particular instance. I like to load it up with a little paint, but I don't want it too gloppy, so I got to add a little bit of water or acrylic painting medium. Either one of those is going to run it down and make it a little bit more flickable. Now, how you control it is you take another brush and put it in the areas that you want to direct it, and you're going to just hit it. And you'll see that flick will flick out in that particular direction. Now, I don't open the fan this way, but I have it on an angle, 90 degrees perpendicular to the other brush. Let me load a little bit more water in here. But see, this color is a great color, but when it's on these other colors, it just jumps right to the eye. Now, again, taking that tic-tac-toe, that golden section idea, I'm looking at, I've got a color flowing this way. I've got a field of color flowing this way. So my eye is kind of, I want something to happen here. So that's where I'm going to put my little echo at right now. My second surprise. I have muted colors on the edges, resting spots for my eye. But right now, I'm going to pull a little bit of flick to give the paint a little action. And I can control it by using one brush to stabilize and the other brush to flick away. Clean the brush, maybe I'll use another color. A great complement. If I'm using teals, something in the orange or brown field, in this case, another one of the new Matisse colors. It's the transparent umber that'll soon be making its way to your different areas, stores, and what have you. Now I've got that loaded up. Now see, that's going to be just a little contrast. I have this light field of color here, so I want something a little bit darker that will stand out and be contrasting from that. Now, as a little final, some more little zing that you need. I'm going to try a little bit of this flow, the permanent light violet. It's a beautiful color, and if you'll know, if you were to mix a red and a teal together, you would get some form of purple. So I'm just going to finish it up with a little dab of this just to excite the eye, to draw the eye in. Again, a little flick. And I want to hit a little bit off so I don't have a big glob come down. I want to get a little bit off of my palette first. But again, I'm controlling the direction that your eye is going to flow simply by using that as the coordinate part. Maybe I'll take a little brush and get a tertiary color, a blending of the two together. And it doesn't matter if I'm using a structure and a flow together, because right now I'm just putting a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of color in there, and it doesn't really have to be any particular consistency. So as a compositional effect, remember, always try to make your corners, if you're going to divide it up like I have in this painting here, make sure that one corner is different from every other corner. There's not two corners the same. That'll add a lot more interest, a lot more action to your paintings. So check out using the tic-tac-toe golden section idea. Try a little bit of splashes, a little sgraffito. These are things of interest, and it's a great way of making a beautiful painting using the abstract expressionist idea. My name's Joe DiGiulio. I hope you enjoyed this quick lesson. See you again.